They say some roads are cursed. Ash Lane was one of them. It was narrow, twisted, lined with trees that leaned too close, as if they were whispering secrets. At the end of this forgotten lane stood a house no one dared to enter. Except me. It started with a letter, no return address, just one line. Come home. Before it's too late. I hadn't been back to Ash Lane since I was 6. My aunt had lived there, a strange woman, quiet and secretive, the kind who smiled without her eyes. After she disappeared, the house was left to rot. But something in that letter felt real. Urgent. So I went. The house was exactly as I remembered, Victorian, crooked, with wooden shutters like eyelids halfway closed. The wind howled louder here. Even in daylight, it felt like twilight. I unlocked the door. It opened by itself. Dust coated the furniture, but not fresh dust. It had weight, like time itself had settled here. Portraits on the walls showed people I didn't recognize. Faces half-finished, with smudged features like someone had tried to erase them. I found my aunt's diary under her bed. The last entry read, "Don't let it follow you upstairs." That night, I slept in the living room. I didn't trust the upstairs, not after that diary entry. At 2:13 a.m., I heard footsteps above me. Slow. Dragging. I held my breath. The steps stopped directly overhead. I didn't move until sunrise. The next day, I explored the basement. It was colder than the rest of the house, not like a chill, but like the air didn't want me there. I found more letters. They weren't addressed to me, but all started with "Dear You." Each letter described dreams, the same dream over and over. A figure at the foot of the bed. Watching. Waiting. Smiling. Then, I started to dream it too. In one dream, I finally asked the figure, "What do you want?" It didn't answer. It just pointed. To the attic. I hadn't dared go up there. But now, I couldn't avoid it. The attic door was hidden behind a panel in the hallway. The moment I touched it, the house went silent. Even the wind outside stopped. Inside the attic was a single chair. Facing the wall. And something sitting in it. It was my aunt. Or something that looked like her. But wrong. Its head tilted unnaturally, and when it turned to face me, its smile stretched too far. "You came home," it whispered. I couldn't speak. "You broke the circle. You opened the door." I asked what it meant. It pointed to the floor. A circle of salt. Broken in one spot, right where I'd stepped. "You invited it in," it said. I ran. I left the house. Or thought I did. But when I got to the road, I was back at the front door. Again. And again. I tried walking backward, through the woods, even closing my eyes. Each time, I returned to the house. The door was always open. And now, every mirror in the house showed me, but not me. The reflection smiled when I didn't. The diary had one more entry now. I didn't write it. "It wears your face now. I've been here for days. Or weeks. Time doesn't work right on Ash Lane. Every night, the footsteps come. Every night, closer. And now, I'm the one sitting in the attic chair. Waiting. Writing letters to "Dear You." Maybe one day, you'll get one too. Just don't follow the road to the end. Don't come looking for me. Don't break the circle. And whatever you do, don't go upstairs. They say when a house is left alone long enough, it begins to remember. Ash Lane is a road that doesn't appear on most maps. It's not long, just a crooked trail that winds behind an abandoned church and through a forest no one talks about. And at the very end, the last house. My aunt's house. The one no one dares visit. Except me. It began with a letter. No return address. The envelope was old, yellowed, the handwriting strange and angular. Inside. Come home. Before it's too late. Home. I hadn't set foot on Ash Lane in 15 years. Since the day my aunt vanished. Since the day I ran out of that house barefoot and screaming. I never told anyone what I saw. But something about that letter drew me back. Not just curiosity. Guilt. Maybe even fear. Ash Lane hadn't changed. The trees leaned over the road like broken ribs. Crows followed my car, one landing on the roof and staying there until I parked. The house looked exactly the same. 2 stories, rotted porch, faded green shutters. But the windows were the worst. They looked like eyes, wide open and watching. As I stepped onto the porch, the boards groaned beneath me. The door opened on its own. Inside was dust. Heavy, ancient, like it had weight. The kind of dust you feel settle in your lungs. The air smelled like burnt paper and something sweeter, like decayed fruit. The furniture was covered in sheets, but some had been disturbed. As if someone had been sitting there. Recently. Then I found the portraits. All over the hallway walls. Dozens of them. Blurry oil paintings. Some unfinished. Faces that felt familiar, but the more I stared, the more they warped. One looked just like me. But the eyes were gouged out. Upstairs, I found the old bedroom, mine, from when I visited as a child. Everything was untouched. Even the toys I hadn't seen in years. One of them, a wooden doll, was missing an arm. But I swear I remember breaking the other one. There was something wrong with this house. But I didn't leave. I told myself I just needed to understand. To find answers. That night, I stayed downstairs. Something about the second floor felt wrong. Too quiet. Too still. The walls upstairs looked warped, as if the house was breathing. At 2:13 a.m., I heard it. Footsteps. Slow. Dragging. Heavy. Starting from the far end of the upstairs hallway. Moving closer. And closer. I held my breath. The steps stopped directly above me. Then. One more creak. Just one. Right behind me. I turned. No one. The air was ice cold. The next morning, I explored the basement. It was colder than I remembered, like stepping into a freezer wrapped in concrete. There was a box. Sealed with wax. Inside were letters. Dozens. All in the same handwriting as the one that brought me here. They weren't addressed to anyone by name. Just, "Dear you." Each one described dreams. Nightmares. Always the same. A figure at the foot of the bed. Watching. Waiting. Smiling. Each letter ended the same way. Don't let it follow you upstairs. But I already had. That night, I dreamed of the attic. But I'd never been in the attic. Until now. I found the entrance hidden behind a sliding panel near the upstairs bathroom. It smelled like old wood and something else. Like wet hair. The ladder creaked as I climbed. The attic was empty. Almost. One chair. Facing the far corner. And something sitting in it. My blood ran cold. It was my aunt. Or something that wore her skin. Pale. Slumped. Her face was turned away, but I saw her breathing. Only, her chest didn't move. "You came home," she whispered. I froze. "You opened the door." She turned. Her smile went too wide. Her eyes were blank, cloudy like fogged glass. "You let it in." I didn't respond. I couldn't. Then she pointed to the floor. A circle of salt. Broken. Right where I had stepped. You broke the seal, she said. I ran. Downstairs. Out the door. But the woods were gone. The road was gone. There was only the house. Again. I tried to leave. Over and over. Walked through the forest. Ran past the trees. Each time. I came back to the porch. Sometimes, I'd return before I left. Sometimes, I'd arrive back and the house would be different. Older. Younger. Once, it was on fire. But the flames didn't burn me. Time was breaking. The house was feeding. On me. I smashed every mirror. But they kept reappearing. And in each one, my reflection began to change. First, the eyes, darker. Then the smile, always smiling. Even when I wasn't. One night, I asked it. Who are you? It grinned. I'm who you were. Before you came back. Now the mirrors don't reflect anything at all. Only the attic does. Only that chair. Waiting. Today, I found a new letter on the front step. Same envelope. Same writing. Only this one said. Welcome home. You're next. There's someone at the door now. Knocking. Softly. They've come. Like I did. And now I'm writing to you. Dear you. If you're reading this, it's too late. Don't come down Ash Lane. Don't follow the forest path. And whatever you do, don't break the circle.